All right, we're moving into our team preview part of the preseason, and we're going to kick things off in alphabetical order, but also reverse ladder order. The Adelaide Strikers, they kick things off. They came last year. Can they bounce back? Find out after this. G'day, everybody, and welcome to the Surges and Sixes BBL SuperCoach podcast. I am Braino, and I'm with Horse and Deadly, and it's a full team on deck. No late changes tonight, so we've got the full team for you to talk about the Adelaide Strikers. Horse, it's one of those teams, isn't it, where you know on paper they should be competitive, and they have been in seasons past, but last year was a bit of a nightmare for them.
Yeah, we got it wrong last year, didn't we? When you got the likes of Matt Short and Jamie Overton, who, for us, very SuperCoach relevant players, but they finished last year. So with that alongside a pretty ordinary schedule to start things off, you're going to need to be pretty selective, I feel, for the Adelaide Strikers players that you may potentially pick in your side.
Yeah, for sure. I rudely didn't ask how you were, Horse, because we podcast together so often during the NBA season. I'll ask you, Deadly. How are you, mate? I was going to ask you what's been keeping you more busy at the moment, whether it's EPL SuperCoach with Whisperer over there or NBA 2K. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, mate, all the above. I don't know who keeps giving me a platform to speak about all this stuff with the amount of stuff that goes on. But I tell you what, I'm bloody keen to rip into it. And yeah, just looking over the Strikers' sort of completed games from last year, they put up decent enough scores, but their bowling attack was just absolutely horrid in keeping them in games, and they've definitely made a point on improving that for this upcoming tournament.
Yeah, they have, for sure. Obviously we're looking forward to having a chat, and what we'll do is we'll dive into each team. We'll give you our predicted 11, at least for round one anyway, pending injuries. There's still a lot of cricket to be played and a lot of preseason. We know what BBL preseason's like. It's just an absolute...
You know what I
nightmare.
like, Braino?
What's that?
Deadly, episode 1, season 3, we're going to get stuck into some BBL, and he's already got the crown on the front of his hat as if he thinks he's going to own and run the show here.
Love it. Well, I mean, hey, if we want to talk about last year's season rank, we can. That's completely up to you guys.
Nope, I'm good.
Oh, we can go through it if you like. You finished top 100, didn't you, or close to it?
No, 157. But I'll take it. It wasn't 6-7. I'm sure the kids would have really enjoyed that. I don't even fucking know what that means. I still have no idea. I thought if anybody would know, Deadly would know, and if he doesn't, then we're no hope.
I don't get the premise of it at all.
It's weird. It's strange. But anyway, we're not here to talk about 6-7. We're here to talk about the Adelaide Strikers. And I guess we'll kick into things purely from a basis of we'll talk about the ins and outs, the squad changes over the preseason or over the off-season. We'll give you our predicted 11. We'll also talk about the feature players, the players that we're keeping an eye on as well that you should be looking at for your starting teams. And we'll kick things off with the ins and the outs for the Adelaide Strikers. Matt Harvey comes across from the Renegades to the Strikers, gets a better opportunity there. Jason Sangha for the Thunder. Hassan Ali was in the draft, and Luke Wood from England. Now, we'll talk about the ins first, Horse, to kick things off. I mean, Hassan Ali gives them that strike power that Deadly was just talking about. They had to make a move there, didn't they, and get another kind of frontline quick, and it looks like they got him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you think back to the way the Strikers bowling was last year, and they had Thornton, who was quite hot and cold, hit and miss, rocks or diamonds, as one great man Braino would say. But then it sort of fell away. Jamie Overton wasn't really that great last year. They had Liam Scott, who did little bits and pieces, again, was either rocks or diamonds, but there was no real consistency there. So bringing in someone like Ali is going to really stabilise that fast bowling lineup that they've got, or someone to go to anyway. But if you go through those ins, Braino, it's not just Hassan Ali. Mackenzie Harvey crossing from the Renegades becomes very, very relevant with the form that he's in at the moment. But then there's others as well, Deadly, who have come across into the Strikers outfit that I know they're only on singles for the first 6 weeks, but when you're talking price and being able to find value, there are people there that we can look to.
Yep, 100%, mate. Yeah, there's a few guys that I'm looking at specifically for the Strikers, even though the run isn't fantastic, don't have a double until round 7. There is a few guys that just pretty good in the Big Bash, and they've sort of come over just to lock down this squad. Luke Wood was one of them. He played for the Stars, did well. Now he's back after 3 years. Jason Sangha is another one. Probably has a spot locked down in that top 4, and when he's not injured, he goes pretty well with the stick.
For sure. Luke Wood maybe even. We're talking about who's going to have the death bowling, and there's probably three options here. Luke Wood can take death bowling overs as well, but Hassan Ali and Jamie Overton seem to be the two guys that'll probably have this. Matt Short chucking in a cheeky 19th over here or there wouldn't be too bad for owners as well either. But I'm sure we're a fair way away from being able to predict what's going to happen there. Now, talking about the outs for the Strikers, they do lose Jake Weatherald. He's gone to the Hurricanes, but he is in the test squad as well. Brendan Doggett, he's with Renegades, and Ollie Pope and Fabian Allen both not coming over this season. So, they lose some strike power, but more so in the batting than the bowling, in my opinion. Yeah. But I do like what they've done. With this squad, it's definitely a squad that I don't think comes last. Famous last words. We'll come back to this at the end of the season. We'll see how we go.
Even with Fabian Allen too. Like it says that he was here last year, but was he?
Yeah, barely.
He did his hammy in like the second round, and was basically ruled out from there. Ollie Pope was the one who I always think of. Was he really here? Because I had him for a good chunk of last year, and he did sweet FA. So shout out Ollie Pope.
He had one or two good games. There was a double there. I remember everyone was jumping on Ollie Pope. You were the bandwagon. You were the head of the bandwagon, I think, Deadly, on Ollie Pope. With him. Didn't end too well. And he didn't even have wicketkeeper duel, which I thought was rotten last year. So anyway, well, let's, sad. We'll talk about the schedule very quickly. We did mention it, but of course the Strikers, they've only got one double in round 7, and they don't have any buys, which is a positive. You know, we're going to get those cash gen guys, like your cheaper guys we'll talk about very soon. But does it concern you a little bit, Horse? Like, it's safe. They don't have any buyers. There's nothing really that you're going to have to navigate there, but you're waiting a while to get on these guns, so you can't really load up on Overton, Short, Lynn, and all of the guns of seasons past.
No, that's right. And who has ever won SuperCoach by being safe? So you look at the Adelaide Strikers schedule there, and to me, straight away, you go, well, this is a Hobart Hurricanes schedule from years gone by. They've always been dished up the dog shit schedule, I guess. They've had the worst schedule for the past couple of years. And ironically, this year, Hobart, we'll talk about them in a later episode, they've got the best. But 7 singles in a row, we're not really maximising our chance to double up on points if you're picking players on singles.
I think it's worth, and we'll talk about this on another episode, I'm sure, but it's worth considering players on singles that you know can perform at this level. You know, Jamie Overton needs to be someone we consider an option round 1, purely because the role is great. You know, it's that death overs role. He'll get his 4 overs, he'll bowl in the surge, and he bats 6. Like, it's a good spot to be. So just because he's not on a double doesn't mean he's not an option, but you've just got to make sure you make the cash work across the rest of your squad. You know, Matt Short will be another conversation I'm sure we have very soon about what to do with him, because in seasons past, he's been the guy, the best option. So, Horse, you'd know all about that, considering you started with him in Deadly and I didn't last year. We had fun.
Yeah, 100%. I started with him at that maximum price. And look, he would be the most expensive player in SuperCoach again if it wasn't for Mark Steckety.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. What a man. Sorry, Deadly, you go.
No, I just said what a guy. What a
guy. Oh, he is a guy. He's a guy. We'll leave it at that.
He plays cricket.
Yeah. Let's have a chat about where we think this team looks. Obviously, Matt Short up the top with Mac Harvey, Chris Lynn at 3, Jason Sanger coming in at 4, Alex Ross, Jamie Overton, Harry Nielsen, Henry Thornton, Luke Wood, Hassan Ali, and I think Harry Nielsen somehow still gets a gig.
How?
Because there are literally no more wicket keepers left. I think that is pretty much where it ends.
It's got to say something, Braino, that you've been in the BBL for 8 years and you are still priced at a rookie price.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Look, he's not an option, of course. No. We're talking about a guy. We just like to take the piss because we said that his dad gets him in the team, which is, always good banter.
Pick me, Dad, pick me. But it's worse for me, though, because he is that price. He doesn't do anything, but yet we can't use him as a loop either, because he will play and he may score you 5 or 10 and just destroy you.
Yeah. Oh, that can absolutely hurt you for sure. We'll bring it back up on the screen very quickly. The players missing out, obviously, Travis Head, Alex Carey, they're both in the test squad. Cam Boyce, Tom Kelly, Liam Scott and Jordan Buckingham we see as the players outside of the top 11. Liam Scott, a bit hard done by, Deadly, because he was pretty good in different parts last year.
Yeah, he definitely played a good role for Adelaide last year, but I think just due to the fact that their bowling was just so ordinary and they've used all their international spots on the 3 bowlers in bringing Wood, Ali and Jamie Overton back, of course, they really just don't have a spot for Scott anymore, and it's between him or Thornton, and I think they'd rather have Thornton's pure pace to start the match.
I think there was moments last year where Liam Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, opened the batting. There are a couple of games there where he opened the stick. So I'm interested to see whether it ends up being Mac Harvey. I think it should. Common sense should tell us that it's Mac Harvey. But yeah, I'm very interested because Liam Scott, obviously, they think highly of him over there. So yeah, you've got to try and find room for him, don't you? I didn't mention Lloyd Pope as well. He is the 11th player in the predicted 11 that we've got here. I guess it'd be silly of us not to kick off with the big dog, Matt Short. Now, last year we would call it maybe a little bit of a, let's call it a down year. 81.3 average, not 100 plus like we're used to. 230 runs at 33, 6 wickets at 21, 5 catches. The man just does everything. Is there temptation, Horse, for you to start with him regardless of the schedule?
Yes. I am ready to get hurt again. Mm-hmm. When you're talking about potentially the best player in SuperCoach, sometimes you need to forget about what's happened previously and just do what's right. And for me, you've got someone who, yes, he doesn't bowl quick. He just bowls his little off spinners, but he opens himself. He gets the occasional 3 overs, takes the occasional wicket, fields in dangerous positions. So you're getting points with catches and that as well. But yet when he gets off the leash, is there a better batsman to watch, Deadly, in the BBL when he's on fire?
Yeah, only person that even compares to him when he's on fire is Glenn Maxwell. And mate, picking between them two is already hard enough when they're both 200 plus. So, and the thing with Matt Short is he can kill you really, really quickly. Like even if he's not really known for his bowling, Matt Short, but he'll take 2 overs to start the match in the power play and take 2-3 wickets, and that's already 60 points, and that's even without having a bat, which he's regularly known to get 50 plus. So it's hard to knock him at all.
Yeah, I think he needs to be, either him or Glenn Maxwell you probably need to start with. Just chuck him in your flex. There'll be an argument for Maxi over Matt Short because of the schedule. The Stars' schedule is a little bit more favourable than Adelaide's. But I'm not going to talk you out of starting with Matt Short, considering we ended up timing it pretty well last year. I think I bought him before he went nuclear and ended up captaining him that week. So I feel good about Matt Short this year. The year before that, I faded him for a lot and he hurt me. So we'll see. We'll see what direction we go this year. Let's talk about Jamie Overton, though, because obviously he is the one with the best role, let's call it. He's nearly just shy of 200K, averaged 73 points last year, nearly 200 runs, averaged 95, 150 strike rate, 11 wickets at 27, bowling death overs, bowling surge overs, fields in good spots in the deep. Pretty safe hands as well, Deadly, Jamie Overton. I mean, is there potentially an argument to start with Overton over Matt Short just based on the role?
I mean, yeah, there is, of course, but it sort of relies on just having the trust of Overton again. He's a player to me, right? Like, obviously the role is good, bats 6, bowls death overs, but at the same time, there is times where if Adelaide's top order goes good, he doesn't get a bat or potentially doesn't get as many overs. There's always been the thing in the little back of my mind that's been like, oh, there's a chance Overton has a down game or doesn't do as well with the stick, but he gets that strike rate bonus almost every single game anyway. And even with that strikers run, I was looking at him over Matt Short as a potential starting option. I really can't knock either of them. He's going to be here for the whole tournament. It's bloody hard to avoid.
Oh, yeah, it's a horse. I remember there was a game where we were death riding Jamie Overton last year, and he had a bit of a shocker with the ball and got carted to all parts and had that.
And he got angry
last year. He started carrying on. And then, we thought, fuck, we've had a winner here. Like, he hasn't taken any poles. He's gotten smoked everywhere. He's on like 3 points. And then he ended up taking like 3 or 4 catches at the back end of the innings and just finished on 47 or something. He's just like that relevant in the field too, isn't he? That those points alone, like Glenn Maxwell, those points alone can carry you.
100%. And you'll hear us talking a lot as well about players that play in either prime positions or play primary roles. So the fact that he bowls death, he bats at 6, he's got a strike rate over 152, so he's always a candidate for that max strike rate bonus as well. But then fields in the deep as well. Regardless of whether he's having a shit day with the ball, he can make or score your points in other ways. So that's why he is such a deadly player or such a good player to own and have in SuperCoach.
Yeah. You can't have both Matt Short and Jamie Overton or Glenn
You can't.
Maxwell. You probably have to pick one
No.
of those three, to be completely honest. But there is a lot of cheapies facilitators, and we'll get into them right now. And one is Mackenzie Harvey. He's come across to the Strikers. Pretty quiet year last year, really, for the Renegades. 45 runs at 11, didn't strike at 100, took 2 catches, but that's pretty much where it ended, which is why he comes in at the lovely 58.5k price tag. Thank you, Supercoach. An opening batsman, regardless of schedule, that can sit on your bench and make you cash horse. That's what you're looking for.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Yep. Cheap price. And if he goes off and scores you 70 or 80 points, loop him in. We'll talk about looping in another episode, but that's money for Jam. And then he's also going to be a money generator for you as well. So if in 4 or 5 weeks you want to move off him into a fallen primo, then there's your cash right there as well.
You're going to have to find a few of them. And of course, we'll talk about Brisbane Heat in the next episode. And there is a guy that is around that same price point that could be as appealing as Mac Harvey there as well. But Deadly, he's a bit of a no-brainer. If you're looking for that cheap bench batsman that isn't a loop, that will make you money, it's got to be him.
Yep, I'm finding it impossible to ignore him. He should open the batting, all things considered. He probably has to, especially now opening the batting this year for Queensland in the Shield, getting more runs in one days as well. And you spoke about before, Horse, about how Overton's a good defender. Let's not forget Mac Harvey. He was basically known coming up through the Renegades plays when he was playing as one of the best fielders in the BBL. Yeah. And there was he scored 85 points in all of last year, and 40 of them came from 2 catches and a run out. Mm-hmm. So he didn't even do nothing with the bat. It wasn't in, and now he's in fantastic batting form, averaging damn near 50. It's almost hard to go past him at all.
And he took that one-handed screamer last year too, from memory. Yeah. That was proper.
Yeah. He's taken a few of them.
Yeah, that he's an incredibly good fielder, good arm on him too. So very relevant for sure. Not just with the stick. Deadly, we'll stick with Jason Sanger, mate. He's come across from the Sydney Thunder. He's 77.8k. When he got the opportunity last year, he was great. 130 runs in 3 knocks, 43 average, strikes it at nearly 150. In the form of, let's call it the form of his life, isn't he? For South Australia, he's now made the full switch over to Adelaide. So playing all of his cricket over in Adelaide now, and seems to like Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, 100%. And he's another one who's gaining some interest from me, especially when given the opportunity and when not injured. He's struggled with injuries a lot the past couple BBL seasons, especially. He's produced pretty well. Only played the 1 game last year, got 59 in it, took a wicket, so he can bowl cheeky offie when needed as well. If Pope or Short don't want to do it, or someone goes down or something like that, he can provide. There's definitely different avenues for Sanger. 77k as potentially maybe only batting 4 is a bit gross, but he is better than that, and I probably do expect him to make some coin.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit more expensive if you're going to, save 20k. You go with Mac Harvey. You probably can't have both. Horse, any left for anybody else? We haven't touched on everyone, and we won't do in these episodes, of course. If you want to sign up and get Deadly's write-ups in the Patreon, you can get those less than $10 a month. To be a subscriber, get access to the WhatsApp and everything. The link's in the description below. But Horse, Luke Wood, Hassan Ali, Henry Thornton was a big guy that we talked about last year. A lot of these guys we're not talking about at all this year. Any love?
Oh, yes and no. It's the schedule that really hurts Adelaide for me. Yeah. So when we're talking about a team that plays 6 singles in a row, and if you're looking at cash gen, I guess it's okay if you're going with the rookie. But if you're looking at, spending up and only having 1 opportunity each round to be able to score you bulk points, there's not really much going on here. But I just want to add on Jason Sanger, the chicken Sanger from last year, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. He was the Australian under-19 captain. This guy's got class to his game. He can bat, he can catch. For those that want to see a catching masterclass from slip, go and watch Lloyd Pope taking 8 for 30 in the under-19 World Cup game where he spun Australia to victory. He takes 4 catches that are just out of this world at slip. So, I really like him at 77k. You've just got to be mindful that there are other cheap options that we're going to be looking at throughout this series when we preview each team. 77k might be just on the edge of not being able to pick him or not.
Yeah. Guys, that'll do us. That is the Adelaide Strikers. If you want the full write-up, it's in the Patreon. The link's in the description below. And if you haven't yet, please hit subscribe, give it a thumbs up, hit the hype button. Horse calls it a triple banger. that'll make sure that you don't miss any episodes for the rest of the preseason. We've got plenty of episodes planned, so you won't want to miss anything coming up over the next 5 weeks, I think, before BBL kicks off. So looking forward to it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for the next one. We'll catch you then.